Yeah, I'm trying to. Sorry, excuse me. I'm just trying to go live on. I'm trying to go live on. Yeah, I'm trying to go live on TikTok. I'm just trying to connect. This phone was off, so I'm just switching it on. I will allow phone calls. I will allow phone calls when I'm done. I will allow phone calls, but you need to give me time to explain. And then afterwards, you can call in and ask for clarifications. Um, you know, this one, the phone is being slow, you know. Collapsed. Yeah. So, okay, this is okay now. I think we can go live on this. Yeah. Good morning. I must confess that I'm not in my best moods at the moment. I'm not in my best moods at the moment, but this is where they say, personal matters uh, should not uh, take away from national matters. National matters come first. If you are a person that is espousing to be a leader, you should be able to withstand personal pressures and be able to come out in public and address to issues that are in the public. Otherwise, you can't be a leader. You can't be a leader. As a leader, you may have your personal issues. You have nafikaba. Things are not okay with you. You are what, but you must be able to withstand, that pressure to hold and be able to come out in public and address issues. And this is basically what I'm doing. I've got a number of issues personally that are supposed to be, I should be lying in bed just, you know, um, crying. But this is very important. I need to address this because we are being cheated. We are being cheated by specifically Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu is manipulating the death of Edgar Lungu for his political self-aggrandizement. That's all. That's all. There is nothing. It is all about Makebi Zulu holding on to this issue of the funeral so that he can use it to spiral his political ambitions. And what you are being told are lies. You are being told lies, 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 and I'm going to break down some of these lies here. And I don't just talk from without. I'm actually talking from what they themselves are giving, what they are giving you. What they are giving you. They are giving you something, and they are pretending. Like Makebi Zulu has come out to say the Supreme Court has ordered the government of Zambia to take back the body. Which Supreme Court? It's a lie. It is a lie. Get it from me. It is a lie. Makebi Zulu, they came out yesterday. And announced that the body has been stolen. That is what they said yesterday. They said the body has been stolen. Well, was it? Certainly not. The body was not stolen. The body was not stolen. The body was released. procedurally. The body was released procedurally to the Zambian government and the South African police. Mark, listen to me very carefully. The body was released to the Zambian government and the South African police. The South African police. So, don't be cheated. Don't be cheated that the body was released only to the Zambian government. It was released to the Zambian government and the South African government. You get that? And this is a fact, and I'm going to prove to you. It's not that I'm lying. I'm going to prove to you what I'm saying here. The body was released to the Zambian government and the South African government, because the police, the South African police, are interested in the body. So now, you people who were excited that the body was stolen, or you people who are alleging that President Edgar Lungu authorized, or President Hakainde Hichilema authorized people to go and steal the body, or to go and forcibly take the body from the morgue. I'm asking you, in your thinking, can the South African police go and steal a body? Can the South African police go and steal a body? Just think of it, because nangubale mibepa fimwe fintu ifi kutontonkanya bene mwakwata kampingu nanguma politics mufile mwaibwela mu face limu mwashintu kila. You know, why pusha we mwine bushefi what somebody is saying bushefile panga sensi bushefi walela ndafile panga sensi. So imwapo muikele opo mule tamba mule ngumfwa pano ndefo okumipusha bushe ba South African government kuti baya iwa body kumochari. Elo iyo body mulela ndapo body yaikale nshi kushinga mule mumochari. Ngawale for kuiva, if they wanted to steal that body, why didn't they do it all along? That body has been there for 10 months. 10 months. Why didn't they steal it? Why didn't they steal it? Instead, the Zambian government, together with the South African government, they have been respecting the law. They have been respecting the law. They have gone through all the court processes until where we are. The Zambian government, they have been patient. Together with the South African government, they have been patient. They have gone through all the legal processes, all the turns and twists that this case has taken to come where we are. And surely, even if you want, you don't have goodwill for the Zambian government and the South African government, even if you don't have goodwill, even if you don't like them, but surely you should respect them for that. You should respect them that the Zambian government, powerful as they are because they are rich, the Zambian government and the South African government, surely they have an extended reach. They have an extended reach. But they have respected the court processes. You know for a fact that the South African government has repeatedly said it, that they want Edgar Lungu to be buried in Zambia. Repeatedly said it. But the family have insisted, to lock this case in court. And the South African government respected that. The South African government, they would have done many things to frustrate the family. All it needed is just to deny them visas. And that's it. They would have done many things. But they have respected, the South African government have respected that. The Zambian government have respected that. And I really commend President Hakainde Hichilema on this one. Because President Hakainde Hichilema, I can tell you, on a number of instances, he has calmed us down, including some of the zealous government officials. Hakainde Hichilema has been the voice of reason. He has been a man of reason and patience in this matter. Because I know for a fact that there have been people, government officials, government security wings that have been excited and wanted to take some shortcuts. And Hakainde Hichilema has always insisted, let's follow the due process. And he has always insisted, let us not leave the family behind. Whatever it takes, let us move with the family. This has been the counsel from Hakainde Hichilema. And I'm not just bluffing here. I'm speaking things that I know. Hakainde Hichilema has always been counseling us. Kia, switch on the aircon. It's getting hot here. Yeah. He's the man that has been, preventing, or what is the word? He's the man that has been, stopping us from misbehaving, so to say. He has been cautioning us. He has been directing us. I'm telling you, because there have been plans. Let's do this. If only Hakainde Hichilema had sanctioned, we would have been talking about this. We wouldn't have been talking about this today. I told you some time back to say, mu South Africa, mwali bakabwalala bene bakabwalala abeminika motoka ina isendendalama na bakapokola fulu a convoy na bakapokola fulu nemfuti nabakwata bayiminika motoka ama bomu yamba okulalira kirikiti mpaka basendendalama. And in Dalameshomulela ndapo, you find that maybe the money that is ungawaisa umfat how much they stole. Mwaisa umfat 400,000 rands. So I want you to think, because mwana kwati government chakwangasha. So it is not that those people are out of reach. If a government can offer, how much can a government operative, because if government wants to do some underhand methods, they want to do a shortcut. To go and get 400,000. How much can a government give if they want to do an underhand method? Umamwine basungire mwasunga mu mochari mu basunga kuti bahadisha mufye bomb pa basende chitumbi if they want. So it is naive for anyone to think that the Zambian government has been hopeless. The Zambian government has been weak to allow this process to go on as it is. And that is a brutal way. I'm talking about a brutal way. But there is another diplomatic way. A diplomatic way where President Hakainde Hichilema would have phoned Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa, please, can we sort out this? And diplomatically, that body would have come. If you are refusing to say what I'm saying is not true, I'll give you an example on the issue of Joe Malanji. Joe Malanji, how did Amachopa Joe Malanji South Africa? How did they come? How did the chopper Zimbabwe? How did it come? How? But Joe Malanji came Zambia, Bale Bosta. Hey, they can never get it. They can never get those choppers. Hey, they will never come. I'm a chopper yadi shire Zambia. One from South Africa, one from Zimbabwe. So, ichitumbi cha walungu, ngecho echechi ngalefuayo kuchisenda. Youth, are you telling me echechi ngalifiriro kuchisenda? Ngalifiriro kuchisenda. I am saying this to respond or to help some of you who think that our government is limited, our government is weak, our government is hopeless. Those of you who think Makebi Zulu is a almighty, who has won over our government. Makebi Zulu has defeated our government. Our government have failed to get the body. No, they haven't failed. If they really wanted, they would have gotten the body. But Hakainde Hichilema insisted, he has always insisted, let us follow the due process and let us carry the family with us along the way. Those are the two guidance. Even me, I was given those directives. Me, let's make sure that the due processes are followed and the family must come along. Those are the directives of Hakainde Hichilema. So, and they have followed this for 10 months. Apatu Afrika, it is not anything that the Zambian government did, and using shortcuts or anything. So dispel that. Whoever is telling you to say the Zambian government did this, tell them it is not true. If they had wanted, they would have done this for the long time that we have waited. They would have done it. But they didn't do it because they respected the processes. The South African government equally has been respecting the processes. At this point, the body was released because the case in court lapsed. The case in the Supreme Court lapsed. How did it lapse? I am not going to go too much in details of where we are coming from. I'm sure most of you have followed the processes. From the time that Lungu died on the 5th of June, and then the Hakainde Hichilema sent the people and blah, blah, and blah, blah. Anyway, the case started on the 25th of June. 25th of June, we had a judgment on the 8th of August. Mu High Court. The High Court ruled, mark this, the High Court ruled that the body of Edgar Chagwa must be taken to Zambia for a state funeral. That was the judgment, and those were the directives. Those directives, they are still in place. The High Court of South Africa gave a judgment in favor of the Zambian government and further directed that the body of Edgar Chagwa be released by the mortuary, the morgue that was keeping it, and handed over to the Zambian government so that the Zambian government can repatriate the body to Zambia. Those directives are still in effect. Those directives are still in effect. However, the family appealed. Okay, they appealed, and you know about the notice of appeal and whatever. But finally, anyway, the Supreme Court gave them permission to appeal. There's the High Court of South Africa refused to give Makebi Zulu and the family permission to appeal because, according to them, they told them to say, you people, why do you want to appeal? On what grounds are you going to appeal? In case now you have failed to tell your story. You were saying the Edgar Lungu story. You have failed to tell the story. You have failed. So there is no any judge that can look at this case any other way, because you don't have a case. Makebi Zulu was cheating you. He was lying to you that no, Hakainde Hichilema used to refuse Edgar Lungu from traveling to South Africa for medicals. That is what this is the story that they have been telling you, that Hakainde Hichilema used to refuse Edgar Lungu from traveling to go and seek medical attention. This is a story that is in your domain, in the public domain. Ngana mwikala mulelanda mali ashibamye bayo. Ati yo ale mukanyo kuya kuchipatala. Echalengero no kweba chafwe. Edi ashibamishimikila. Edi ashimulanda ponga na mwikala. Hawe uyu muntu mubi usano uyu. Ale mukanya edi kalungu kuya kuchidiro. Kuya ku medical. Iyo baile mu court. When they were in court, Makebi Zulu and everybody, they failed to prove that. They failed to prove that allegation that Hakainde Hichilema was refusing. They failed. Because when they wrote to government to say they want to go for medical attention, even the government even offered to say, when are you going? We would like to facilitate your travel. We would want to make sure we pay for everything and whatever. And instead, it is Edgar Lungu that refused to say, no, we don't need your help. We are okay. We are just informing you. We just wanted you to know. That's all. It is not for you to do anything. This was in court. And the government presented those documents, those letters, which Lungu wrote, and the response thereof to say, here is the letter. But for the times that Edgar Lungu was stopped from going for medicals, there was no letter. There was no letter which was written to government to say he wants to go and seek medical attention, and they have failed. Maria Shife amuka chasu, because one thing, pa social media kutina alanda yo ndefo kuya ku India. I want to go to India for medicals. Kutina alanda finofina. I want to go to India for medicals. But are you telling me government is going to act simply because naisa panona alanda yo ndefo kuya ku India for medicals? Are you telling me government is going to release money? No. If you say you are going to India for medicals, you must have some proof. You must show letters from the doctors that yes, indeed, you need to go to India. But there were no such letters. So yadiamalia shimulanda poa kwa yo wale mukanya. Makebi Zulu failed to show those letters where Edgar Lungu wrote to government, and government refused to say, you will not go. The time that they wrote a letter and a doctor signed on it, government said, Your Excellency, we are willing to help. How can we help? How can we help? But he refused. So nangumulelanda muletarikana mwila ibepa bala ibepa inende nyebe fishinka mukoti. They failed to prove that. No, Edgar Lungu bali muchitretrichu ubisana bale mukanyo kwenda chavana shani bakoti baisai bati let any evidence. Tapali evidence. At the end of the day, tapali case. There was no case. And this is why the judgment was in favor of the Zambian government. And when they wanted to appeal, the court of the High Court refused. They said, you have failed to make a case. So what are you talking about? Anyway, they appealed to the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court can allow them to appeal. And at the Supreme Court said, okay, fine, we allow you. You can appeal. And this judgment came on the 24th of December. 24th of December, the Supreme Court allowed them to appeal. And they gave them that they must file this appeal before the 11th of February. Before the 11th of February. 24th December, Baba Antoine Kani. Permission, you can appeal. Okay, fine, you can appeal. By 11th February, mufile mukachiteshani iyo appeal. Meaning, ama documents yako but yo to achita appeal aya. Mukachite before February 11th. Makebi Zulu na bantu bakwe. They didn't file in the notice of appeal until at the last minute. At the last minute. They were filing in kwati katushinga bachite file kwati pa 10. Deadline yali pa 11. When I was at file kwati pa 10 elo bachita file. You can imagine that. Number ababantunga bali serious. Mumoni judgment here liko pa 24th December. Baba pela 1 month the whole January. But they prepare themselves. But they only filed in pa last minute. Elo bachita file in. Number 1. Secondly, after bachita file in, Zambian government wangu watashadi bachita respond. Elo dia bachita respond number lete nyama arguments. Landeni nomba abasuminisha bachita chimona ma Simon iyo notice of appeal chimona Simon ili akwati washiro muntu Simon in simple terms vile kwati bali bapela permission yakwati kuti wamushira Simon ngolefwa. So basa bati ukamushira Simon before 11. So before part 10 bashita Simon ena bati nomba londolola fishi fikushupile. What is the problem? What haven't you agreed with the High Court? What are you not happy with the judgment? Fishi fishupile mu judgment. Fishi futa utemenwemo. Londolola tweve. And the court, this happened on the 13th. And they told them 13th, and they told them that they should 13th March. Mukwanke munama detail 13th March babeba. Okay, muchitelo letting number my arguments. Letting my arguments. And baba pele up to 30th March. 30th March. By 30th March, make sure you file in your arguments. Makebi Zulu, instead of filing in the arguments, arguments why he didn't agree with the judgment. Makebi Zulu was in Zambia, busy campaigning. Alaba kumula nduwa wa Lungu. Alaba kuchita file in. Ama documents bakoti bamwebeli. Alaba. Ero tekulaba iyo. Tekulaba. Because techula the chintu chakule. You can't forget such a big thing. You can't. Tala vile iyo. It is just because Makebi Zulu doesn't have what to say. He doesn't have what to say. Together, now the lawyer Black Jesus now walipize nama cases ya kwa malema nama cases ya kwa malema. But you can't also tell me, even if I reach the hand of my cases, you can't tell me that lawyer can forget to file in documents of arguments. It's not possible. It's not possible. The issue is that tabakwe tefia kulanda Makebi Zulu tetale pose nshita pali bu president yogo takave. Makebi Zulu knows he cannot manage to be on the ballot. Makebi Zulu knows he can't win an election. But he was using it as a scapegoat. So that there is this situation now. So, leron delanda leron pashan. Leron pa 23rd April. Bali ngiro kushita file in ama documents here pa 30th March they didn't file in. 30th March they didn't file in. If in them yeva fishinka na bonse mwe le support Makebi Zulu shani bonse tapadi fishupide ngapade fonde vepa fumieni ama documents yenu. The arguments, bring the arguments, post them on social media and show us that you did submit those arguments before 30th March. It is very simple. Mwitalikana na ine yo mwintuka. No, hakainde chirima yota wakabwele. All those problems, I know them. I've got more problems than those. All those problems, no problem. Leave those aside. I'm simply asking you, I'm challenging each one of you who are arguing with me that can you ask Makebi Zulu? Makebi Zulu, you were given a deadline of 30th March. Show us the documents. Did you file? That is a question that you need to ask Makebi Zulu. Don't fight. Don't insult each other. You don't have to insult each other. You don't have to insult me. But if you want, you can even insult me. I don't have a problem. But after you finish insulting me, tell me, show me that these are the documents which Makebi Zulu filed in court. Show me. His deadline was 30th March. Makebi Zulu didn't file. Even today, he hasn't filed. Abawa Beverly, Abawa Beverly, wale sabaida, ayo, tayari, shani, go and money your sister, whatever. I've got more things to mourn about, I'm telling you. Let me Ashani akakamuntu aka. Nakachita posti, she has posted some documents for some of you, who are naive. For some of you who are naive. Some people are tagging me. Inbox. Look. I'll show you. Now share the voice of Zambia. I'm telling you, what I want to demonstrate here is that it is not true that the Zambian government and the South African government, they did any shortcut to access the body. They followed the procedures. So anyway, this is not opening up here, but if you check Beverly, Ngandeke batinda kuchitira campaign, she thinks that I'm joking. When I'm sending people to your page, that is campaign, but you can't appreciate that. But anyway, it's not coming. But if you check on Beverly, whatever, you will see, Nachta Posti, Amantuan Kane, I didn't read because I saw them, just before. Nakachta Posti, ama pages. But those pages, mass screenshots. Ama screenshots, Wushangani Kwata document, perform. Does it mean it's a file? Does it mean it's a file? Not at all. Makebi Zulu did not file those documents by 30th March. And look at now the Zambian government and their patience. The Zambian government waited 30th, 1 April, 2 April, 3 April, 4 April, 5, 6, 7, 8. Balelo le la fiba Zambian government. Mpaka pa 30, pa 21. Pa 21. That's when they wrote this letter. 21. This letter, you have seen it, it is circulating. It is dated 31. There, 21. Remember, the closing date, the deadline for Makebi Zulu to file the arguments, a band of arguments, it was 30th. But the Zambian government waited until 21. That is when they wrote this letter. This letter is on social media, even on my page, it's there. You can find it. These are the lawyers of the Zambian government. And they wrote a letter to the Supreme Court, registrar. Ku court, ngoli mu court, tatulembela judge, inkala tatulembela registrar. Eba abakwati ni ba secretary, ebo tulembela. So, the Zambian government, balembela ba secretary, wawa court, ku Supreme Court. Ukwebati, mwebantu, we have been waiting for documents from aba bantu aba ba family na no mbatala isamushe what is happening inkarate balemba. And in response the registrar aisa lemba panamu imone in pen namu mona in red. Have you seen aisa lemba in red? I had to print it in color so that muimone aisa lemba in red. And they simply said the appeal has lapsed. The appeal has lapsed. The appeal has collapsed because they have not filed in the documents. So it has lapsed. It has failed. They have failed. Makebi Zulu. And the date is there. When were you last to file in? 30th March. Did you file in? He didn't. So what do you think now the government should do? What the court should do? Now tell me. Njasukeni mwasuke mweva letarika. File in, pathetic, that's the file in. File in, pathetic, that's the file in. Va government valelo lela, va court valelo lela. Makebi Zulu, ale pitana, ale chita campaign. Mushekwenevo Fiwomba do things work out like that? Is that how things work? Is that okay? Imwe vale supporta Makebi Zulu, is that okay? You tell me, is that okay for Makebi Zulu to sleep on this one, at this important case of yours? Very important case. And at least in Gachita collapse at 2 days, Kuchu Achitako understand. Number mwingililemo 30th. Na papa government vale mbele pa 21. Imagine, 20 days in between. 20 days in between. Can Makebi surely accuse anyone? Can Makebi Zulu accuse anyone after 20 days on sleeping on this case? You know, we don't like the government and whatever we want to criticize, but we think reasonable. Reasonable. No poor that easily. We get excited. No, me, I don't support that. What KBN did is very unprofessional. I think I must call them out. It's rare that I call out the media, but really, it is very irresponsible for KBN, to carry out that news. No, the body is missing. The body has been stolen. No. You can be in Zambia, but we are in a modern technology. Why didn't KBN call the mob? Why didn't KBN call the government? Why didn't they call Bakabesha? Why didn't they call Bakabesha? Because, no, a family source. In your journalism that you learn, they tell you about, balancing the story, hearing from the other side. So the family, whatever member told you, because you want numbers. You want numbers, you want viewers to come to your TV. And you go and broadcast this. And unfortunately, the numbers that you get, they are not even more than my numbers. You are good at lying. But the numbers that you get, you can't even beat my numbers. As an individual, you are an institution. Because that's why you lie. Your journalism ethics requires that you check the other side. You always check the other side, especially on a big news like this one. There is no way you would quote one source. And Mwalaba Konokola wako to say, no, we are doing journalism. No, not at all. So it is a lie. The case collapsed. Now, talking about releasing the body. No, the way they released the body, how did they release the body? The South African government, if you remember, they have been wanting to access the body because the police have got interest in the body. There have been allegations that Edgar Lungu was poisoned. There was foul play in the death of Edgar Lungu. There have been those claims that there was foul play. They want to make sure that this former head of state who died in their country did not die as a result of, human foul play. They want to make sure. They want to clear Edgar Lungu that he died indeed out of a natural cause. They want to make sure. And so before, the South African government, through the police, they have been going to the morgue. And they have been denied access. You remember Makebi Zulu himself came to boast to say they went there and then they refused them. Then another day they went there, they refused them. That is what they have been telling us. That's why they have been telling us. But how is it that this time around, that morgue, that funeral parlor, released the body? How is it? Why did that funeral parlor release the body? Why? Why did they release? It is because there was no case. There was no pending issue with the body. There was no legal impediment. There was no legal impediment. And mind you, that funeral parlor, they have lawyers. Whenever they receive or they receive court documents, they quickly call their lawyers. So when they received the documents to say release the body, they called their lawyers. They called their lawyers. And their lawyers checked it through. And they said, yeah, okay, release the body. Takwali tawaire ne mfuti. Takwali ukukangana. It is only court documents that spoke. And those court documents satisfied the funeral parlor for them to release the body. They satisfied. So don't be cheated at your chamana. The issue is before we had a situation where the police wanted to access the body, they couldn't. The government wanted to access the body, they couldn't. Because there was an injunction. But when the case in the Supreme Court failed, it means everything fell out. Everything fell out. When Makebi Zulu failed to file in on the 30th, it means the case failed. And when the case failed, it means the injunctions or the impediments, they were relieved. And that is why that funeral parlor, with their lawyer, in the presence of their lawyer, I must say, they released the body. They released the body. So, tell them, before they couldn't access the body. Remember, there were those times when they just wanted to confirm, to say, no, we just want to see the body. They were refusing them. No, you won't see the body. No, you want to see the body. And they would come on social media and boast. Hey, they wanted to see the body. Hey, they have chased them. What? You see? Now, they gave them. They gave them because the legal impediment was no longer there. And that funeral parlor has a lawyer. And a lawyer is already talking now because the lawyer has written to the lawyers of Makebi to say, we don't want that body anymore. We don't want it. Don't bring it here. We don't want it. They have written. They don't want it because, I mean, it has given them too much problems. They don't want problems. They have written. They have said, if we release the body, because there is no court issue. There is no court issue now. We have released the body. We were keeping the body because there was a court issue. Now, the court issue has lapsed. So since it has lapsed, don't bring the body to us. There is no court issue now. It has lapsed. Mungu mfuikishe. There is no court issue now. The court issue has lapsed. I know others are asking about the injunction. In there is an injunction. There is no court now. It has lapsed. It collapsed on 30th March. It collapsed. There is no issue now. That is why the body was released. And the lawyers, they are saying, we don't want it anymore. We don't want that body anymore. That's what they are saying. At tired you are a liar. Land up on the paper. In them picture of thing to us they are. So there is no case. There is no case. And I know now somebody saying, hey, but what about the injunction? So now here is what happened by the injunction. You see, after wasende chitumbi kulia, and you know walesende chitumbi, they found the lawyers babena makebi bali vevele. Ukwebat imwe guys kuno waisa mkusende chitumbi because you have failed to prosecute your case in the Supreme Court. Instead yako ati babutukire kulia, venefo bachitire kuya nomba ku court. They went to court. Now, when they went to court, they didn't go to the Supreme Court. They didn't go to the Supreme Court. Why didn't they go to the Supreme Court? Because in the Supreme Court, the case is gone. Therefore, kumieva tawaile ku Supreme Court. Makebizuru alemi bepa. They didn't go to the Supreme Court because ku Supreme Court umulandu it has lapsed. A case has collapsed. They didn't go to the Supreme Court. Kabebe, you go and tell the people who are telling you that you didn't go to the Supreme Court. They went to the High Court. They went to the High Court, not the Supreme Court. We also remember, no, what about the case? The same court has said take back the body. No, the Supreme Court has not told anyone to take back the body. No. The Supreme Court has not told anyone to get back the body because the case in the Supreme Court has collapsed. It has collapsed. It has collapsed. The only way the case, before I come to this, the only way the case in the Supreme Court can be revived is by them filing a leave of notice. Leave of notice or notice leave. Yeah, leave of notice. It is possible they can bring back the case in the Supreme Court. They can bring it back. How can they bring it back? They have to write to the Supreme Court to say, please, to Apapata, can you bring back our case? We are sorry for delaying. We delayed because Makebi Zulu was campaigning. That's why I was busy campaigning in Zambia. So please, Wakoti, give me another date so that I can file my papers. They can go, they can write. It is possible. They can ask for, ask for leave. They can ask for leave to say, we want to continue with our case. That is the only way it can go back. It can go back to the Supreme Court. As it is, there is no way. There is no way. The only way they can write, they can ask for leave. They can ask for leave for the case to continue. And they have to show cause why the court must entertain them. So Makebi Zulu didn't go to the Supreme Court. And I am not lying to you. Here are the documents I printed. Here are the documents. Eva michira security in social media. Now watch the security ama documents in social media. No, but whoever retarika. Hey, yeah. The same court. Which court? Which court? The court has told them which court. It is not the Supreme Court. It is there written. In the High Court of South Africa, Gauteng Division, Pretoria. It is there. It is there. It is not written Supreme Court here. It is written High Court. It is written High Court. I am my documents ya kwa makebi. Tema documents ya ndiawe. Hii ni document ya kwa makebi. Ni document ya kwa makebi. Nomba alenye watu ku Supreme Court. Bushani Supreme Court ilembelewe papa. Look at this stamp. Bushani stamp ya ku Supreme Court. Ni stamp ya ku Supreme Court hii. It is written before the Honorable Francis Sabuha. Na judge opwa, national ya kwa judge opwa lidi hapa. National ya kwa judge opwa lidi. National ya kwa judge opwa lidi. Judge wa mo High Court, not wa Supreme Court. Not wa Supreme Court. Na stamp yopo hili. Ero pali stamp na pena hapa, pali insamushi. Pali insamushi. Why didn't the judge himself sign these papers? Why didn't the judge sign this order? Because when an order is being made by a judge, the judge himself signs. Why didn't the judge sign this order? Iwe makebi zulu ulele pa bobele abashaisuke mitwe ifiko ponoti fwebamo. You can't lie to us. Akuba bepa bobele ule babe poto tuno tunankana tupuba tuno ule tubepa, not some of us. When a judge is signing an order, the judge signs. No mbapa munevat before a judge mwalile mbera pona limo mwalemba. But who are signing? Ni secretary. Why is the secretary signing? Nishi judge tasa inire. Why is the judge not signing this order? Why is the judge not signing this order? Why? Why is the judge not signing this order? Mwayase the judge munenu. Mwamulisha mo. Ero amyeba na wali change la mambala. Instead ya kwa ta sign. Give my secretary. No, they were hearing. But not serious. No, there was a hearing. They have granted a hearing in Abanani. A hearing in Abanani. The court has granted. The Supreme Court has granted. Iyo ndangeni order ya Supreme Court signed by a Supreme Court judge ndangeni. You show me. You show me order if you go Supreme Court, not if you vepa. Bale mishinga bata. Makebi is lying to you. Makebi is a liar. Makebi is a crook. Alemi vepa is a crook, that guy. Alemi vepa, no. The Supreme Court. Which Supreme Court? Ini document yakwe. Judge Chakuti, but who assign any secretary? Finish if you. Now there is an order. HH has been ordered to take back Kwisa. No. Here. Ayo, apo ya ma stamps. Epo ya ma stamp. Epo ya ma stamps. Ni document yawo. So mwe balela that your Supreme Court. Ndefo kumipusha. Tulangene ma documents ya Supreme Court. Tulangene. Tulangeni. And this order that they are talking about is useless. I can tell you that. Don't even be excited. It's useless. It is useless. It is useless, this. Useless. And why am I even saying it's useless? Look, the people that they have cited in this order of theirs. Nangukui tuntumba. Olomula yumfwa. Look at the people that he has cited. They have cited the South African Police Service. They have cited Makapokola. They have cited the National Commissioner of Police. They have cited the Minister of Police. They have cited the government of the Republic of Zambia. They have cited two mountain barrier service. They have cited the Minister of Internal and Relations Corporations. Look at these people. Look at these people that you are citing. Eh? You are citing Ababantu Aba. Number 1, Wakapokola. Number 2, Police Commissioner. Number 3, Minister of Police. Number 4, Government of the Republic of Zambia. Then you are Bamochari. Then Minister of Internal Relations. Who is Makebi? Who are you? Who are you to be citing these people? Who are you? Eh? Who are you? Who is Makebi Zulu? Eh? Who is Makebi Zulu? Who is Makebi Zulu? Who are these people? Eh? Because what you have to know is this. When you have an injunction, who can execute that injunction? It is actually, the registrar, the clerk. And the clerk doesn't have Bakapokola. They have to use the police. They have to use the police. Zambian government, if the Zambian government wants, right now, they can go to the airport and no one is going to stop them. No one is going to stop them. No one is going to stop them. If the Zambian government wants to bring the body, they can bring the body to Zambia right now. But I'll go back to what I told you. Hakainde Ichilema respecting all the processes. And this is why you are not seeing the body today. If Hakainde Ichilema was desperate, the body would have been in Zambia. By yesterday, it would have been in Zambia. Pa South Africa, Pepi sana. Pepi pa South Africa. Indekana tukwata, whatever. No bushikukui mafia. Basenda in 2 hours. So within 5 hours, the body will be in Zambia. But remember, I told you that the body was not only released to the Zambian government, it was also released to the police. And this is why Makebi is citing them here. This is why Makebi is citing them here. Because they are part of this handover. The police are interested in the body. They are interested in the body. And even as we are talking, the body was not given to the Zambian government to say, Fwaenu kwa kutwala. It was taken to the mortuary controlled by the government of South Africa. Because the South African government, through the police, have got interest. And that is why the body is still in South Africa. Because there are investigations currently going on. And the Hakainde Ichilema and his government, they are respecting that. They are saying, do your investigations, finish your investigations. When you are done, then give us the body. That is the story. Don't think at hey, they are taking the body, whatever. No. No. There is nothing. And that funeral, that lawyer, work funeral parlor, he issued a statement, not that the body, I saw somebody writing on social media to say they took the body, then they refused. No, it is not that. He heard that, so when he heard that, he wrote kuma lawyers bawena Makebi Zulu to say, if you're more tampa, ni fimbi, ili ashirie suifwe, na alipwa. Ili ya kesi, ya mu Supreme Court. So since kesi ya Supreme Court na alipwa, don't bring the body to us. If you are going to start another case, that case, muka tuwale kumbi uko not kuleta kumiesu. And like I have told you, the only way this case can come back, it is when Makebi Zulu, through his lawyers, they go to the Supreme Court and they ask for permission to say, please, to Apapata, we want to continue with our case. And that is another case that has to be heard for some time, whether they can agree or not. So don't be cheated. There is no case in the Supreme Court. There is no case in the Supreme Court. The only way a case can come back in the Supreme Court is when Makebi Zulu ayapapata to Supreme Court. And the Zambian government will have to respond as well. whether they will agree or not agree. The only case which is there, ni uyu munavo uyu vanonanke katuishu uyu judge uyu vanonanke, I'm sure they drink together. But Mambara is clever. He refused to sign it. He gave it to the secretary. Ewa makebizuru aisa mkube paliwe na mwamba. No, the Supreme Court fiabu fi. This case has collapsed. Let's move on. Let's start, preparing for the whatever. And now, just on a somber note, please, my brothers and sisters, come on, how long are we going to continue with this? How long are we going to continue with this? For how long are we going to play politics? Nechitumbi cha muntu. Nechitumbi cha muntu, sure. Now, nguni family bene ba Mayowa Esther. That's why I talk about Mayowa Esther. We should kwena Mayowa Esther. I mean, because she's the next of kin. For how long are we going to continue with this? And then, mwebantu bamuveni, mwapiduka, mwambokula chisa blame Hakainde Hichilema. Hakainde Hichilema doesn't want to bury Edgar Lungu. Hakainde Hichilema doesn't want to. So, in this case today, who doesn't want to bury Edgar Lungu? Who doesn't want to bury Edgar Lungu? Hakainde Hichilema is saying, let's bury this man in dignity in Zambia. Not like a refugee. Even me, a refugee, if I were to die, I'm not going to be buried here. Number Edgar Lungu, former head of state, Tanya refugee. Muchalo Chimbi, for what? Why do you want to bury Edgar Lungu in another country? Because those of you who have been saying, no, the government. The issue is, they don't want our former head of state to be buried like a refugee in another country. Even a refugee, Chulufatari, cannot be left to be buried outside. He will be brought back to Zambia. What about the former head of state? But Freddy Membe, Hakainde Hichilema, they come over tushe. Hakainde Hichilema, alifwaya Edgar Lungu, esa tushe. Muzambia. Mwebantu. Lekeni Hakainde Hichilema, esa tushe. I'm opening phone lines. In case you haven't gotten it somewhere, in case you want to ask, in case you want to challenge me on anything, here I am. I open phone lines. That's why I open phone lines. In case, Parib Shan, call me and say it. If you have anything other than what I've told you here. But me, I'm using the documents that he, Makeb Zulu himself. It is in the High Court, not Supreme Court. In the Supreme Court, the case has collapsed. So if you want, and then call me if you have an issue. I'm using our usual number there. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Mr. Chirapaka,
yes,
how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Hello?
Hello?
Good morning, Mr. Chirapaka.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, I was following you loud and clear. And it's unfortunate that people are being cheated by Makebizulu. This propaganda of Makebizulu is just out of hand. Because yesterday, the way they were coming up with their media and the Mama, it's something that is out of this world. I expected to see a court from Supreme Court that has said, no, we are ordering government to take. There is no such an order from Supreme Court. And why are they this? I don't know. Because today he went live again on Channel Africa trying to say, no, they've been ordered back. They asked him to say, okay, you were told to submit before the 30th of March. Now, do you have any letter you've written either to the Supreme Court or to the lawyers of Zambian government that we are asking for extension of time? do you have anything to show that you really requested for an extension of time? Do you have anything? Makebi Zulu, he's never answered that question in a way a normal person can answer. He says, no, according to the family, yes, we have. But this issue is for the court, it's not for the family. So I think what you are saying is true. Whatever is trying to play out of time, lies have got short legs.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Hello? Please be fast so that I can accommodate as many people as possible. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Tayali.
Yes.
Okay, but why should the government force themselves to bury that man here when his wishes before he passed on were that he should not be buried here and that the government should not be involved in his burial?
So my sister.
Are you getting the whole point?
So my sister, listen. Here we are saying the truth, not fabrications, not innuendos. But Edgar Lungu never said I should not be buried in Zambia. He never said that. And then number two, this case that we are talking about was in court. It was in court. In court, they didn't show us evidence that Edgar Lungu said Hakainde Ishirema should not see the body. They didn't prove that in court. So if they didn't prove that in court, who are you to say this is what Edgar Lungu said?
Okay, in the first place, you remember when the former president just passed on, the request was the body was going to come to Zambia, but what they did not want was our sitting president right now to handle the affairs.
And who didn't want? Who didn't want?
That's not.
Who didn't want? Who didn't want?
Going to the court of.
Anyway, please, when you call me, challenge me on facts. Not I'm rumors. If you I'm not interested in that. Challenge me with facts. Some of these things that you are talking about, they were in court. They couldn't prove the case. So how can you bring them up now? They were in court. They failed to prove that. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Hello, Secretary.
Yes.
How are you, Clifford? Clifford.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Me the issue I have is on the lies that they credit to know the body was stolen. Are you telling me that at the time the South African authority the lawyers were informed? There were no people?
I explained that. I explained that. I explained that. Please don't take me back. Things that I explained. I mean, I want clarifications. I want basically people to tell me. Hello? Yes.
Shan tayari wa bomba shan boss.
I'm quiet.
Ndipo kulande tayari ularandeka chinka vamakebi talensi vete tya kulanda n'abaluvana ba wampate then eto narakwe bati bibine weanda ukwali ineto ndero mbako beba akainde bakubweta papene bikwa my election so that ngawaisa kuno ngakwabaiti tyonse tulekwa bale kuleta pa public TV ZNBC so that it is.
Thank you. Hello? Yes, please.
Okay, batushatali nebo malasha kuzamja kitwe.
Emkwa.
Ndefo kulandetsa number 1 wati busheba ba flag membe bare mfwashani amashu barera ndati kenyumno enwale atushe eryo cyashika ku South Africa bareta claim wati nani uyu president wesu akainde kirema eutawale fwaya shike uri omubiri bare mfwashani mpo bekeri fetenso ni bare mfwa
imagine
ita number 2 ndefo kulande okutira bushe ama journalist ba Zambia why tabale ipushisha ababonto bale spy kuba bu president ati bushe
pantawe mbabando kutira tutakanda pamfani mukamwenso nangu mwafwa bushana ngomenda mukambo kula shupe ukula mishika muzambia nangwawe tushama kweshanya because kuntu amuna kuma behavior yabo ukutira nabe nabo bakesa mukutushupa bakesa mukushupe charo cha Zambia ishita kuchada nguba koroka mbi kularanda twala tushika ku South Africa twala tushika kuita kumbi kucharo kumbi kansha abantu abe nabali qualified uko president muzambia.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Hello? I want to take as many calls as possible. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello, Mr. Tari, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, Dr. Kasimbo here. First of all, we usually enjoy your chats. It's very odd that as a Kalachala, we group at some point during our free time and discuss most important issues their challenges. Because we belong here, and the Kuli Umbi, who are two more Zambian than us, the land that belongs to us. Then, first of all, in a discussion, I really wonder what other people feel that Ubuntu ni wisa. I asked several questions to myself that we share Ubuntu. Whatever to Ubuntu alikuwa to Ubuntu. Ubuntu wa msango shani. Ubuntu wa kwa to Ubuntu. Afuile extra reason is into in the manner that ushechina wingi chabantu but therefore into fiende shani. A group of people cannot challenge the majority. Umuntu nga abani president tali muntu walupua abani Lungu'S wonte because I opt to take ifwe. And when that somebody dies, shesh bana lo musambili yakena tayari ngenimo waloya msango shani. Umuntu claiming to be a lawyer can't even dilute a small word kubantu wali kushangombo wali kulufuanya wali kwa kaputa lati uyunga afu amafunde ya chawe yalanda poshani. You keep on fighting battles, wasting time utupostera penshita cha itechitumbi bakanya katika chituputela ndapo. Now as we try to conclude the leadership, tapina ngumole fokuchenomu nankwe, we are discussing somebody who was our leader, who was our parent, who was our relative, Edgar Lungu, who demised. What's the next step? Kumushika. Abawala ndete walanda. Honestly, akainde kutuafunyia efidisi kumuntu wa chimfisha mbato. What is there special?
Imagine.
Kumuntu wa chimpia. Wa muchimpia mu election. Alofunyia kwa ishi. Nishayepa na abamoga sapone. The people should reason properly that let us discuss real issues.
Thank you, man.
What is next?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Please, let us... hello?
Hello?
Yes. Yes.
I'm the lady that called you earlier. I don't know what happened to the network. There are certain things that when things are hard, when the family has denied, what's the way it has stayed for 10 months without the burial of our late former president. Why can't the government just release? Let the family do what they have to do. Does it have to go this far, honestly?
I think that is not a question. My sister, I think that is not a question. That is your opinion, and I'll leave you to that opinion. So I'm moving on to the next person. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Tahari, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, you are talking to Samba Albert from Kitwe. Hello, Mr. Tahari, are you able to get me?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to comment about the issue that is around the social media over the body of the late former president, Mr. Edgar Lungu. You know, people were just saying from the blues, wow, we know the truth. We used to follow the court case on TV, where the family for Edgar Chakwalungu failed to provide the evidence that Mr. Chakwa said that I don't want HH to attend my burial. Either the lawyer failed to provide those evidence. So I don't know why people they are coming out like saying something from the blues. So we have to know the truth before we start comment on the thing. We have to know the truth and we have to follow the things accordingly.
Thank you, my
where
brother.
The law
Thank you.
said that no.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. My brother, my dad. I'm
quiet.
Okay, actually, feeling I'm not of a is there anything like the time the president, the former president, Edgar Lungu'S there for? We say quite good documentation,
so takwali will. There was no will, and the family did not present anything in court. That's why no mulandu barushire. But pali fyonso fo balelanda tabaletere evidence, tabaletere evidence.
Oh, okay. So meaning, so you want to say everybody and the Zambia,
tapadi evidence, tapadi evidence. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello, Mr. Tari.
Yes, please.
Yes, hello, Mr. Tari.
Yes, sir.
You got a question. Why is the government taking time to arrest Makebi? Because he's trying to do a lot of nothing.
Well, I mean, I want to be very honest. And so far, to be very honest and objective, whatever Makebi Zulu is doing, I don't think it culminates into a crime. I don't think. Unless over what he said, because if he's the one that really claimed, if Makebi Zulu did claim that the government has stolen the body, then he can be held responsible. He can be held responsible. But I mean, whatever he has been doing, really, I don't think it amounts to a criminality. I mean, I want to be very objective. I don't think it amounts to criminality. Unless he said something that is a blatant lie, then yes.
Also, Mr. Tari, we shall see since the government is holding on to the body and everything. Now, why can't the government just repatriate the body? Because I've
already explained this in my broadcast. I think you missed somewhere. I said the body was released both to the Zambian government and the South African police. So far, the South African police are doing an investigation. When they are done, then they will release the body to the Zambian government. Hello? 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 So yes, I know some people, you are saying, why isn't the body coming? Why isn't the body coming? The body has to pass through all the procedures, whatever issues they have to be sorted out. That is when the body will come. So, and we must commend government for being that patient, because our Nganinebo, our Akainde Ichirema is really a patient man. Nangufira balamde akainde chinema movies and akainde chinema has really shown so much magnanimity, so much maturity, so much diplomacy. We must really commend him for that. Otherwise, nganifuego, nganifimbi. Anyway, I opened the phone lines. Basically, why I opened the phone lines, I wanted somebody to call me and challenge me on whatever I'd say. But clearly, no one has challenged me on this. Now, as you go in your groups, as you discuss, whether per Facebook or on social media, wherever you are engaging, please, I ask you to challenge those people. And these are the key points. The government did not steal the body, neither did they use force or any shortcut to access the body. They didn't. If the body was willingly surrendered to the South African government through the police and the Zambian government, because the case had collapsed in court. Why did the case collapse in court? It is because Makebi Zulu did not file the documents as requested by the Supreme Court. He didn't. He was supposed to submit these documents by 30th March, but he didn't submit those documents. And the Zambian government and the South African government waited for 20 days. Nothing came forth. And that is when they moved. So, it is not that they use any underhand method, not at all. Makebi Zulu, wherever you see him, ask him, why didn't you file in the arguments? Why? Ask him that question. And then challenge him. He's saying that the Supreme Court, ask him which judge of the Supreme Court signed his orders, because his orders came from the High Court. And the High Court by a certain judge, and this judge did not sign. Ask him, why didn't your judge sign the order? Why didn't your judge sign the order? Basically, that is what I wanted to say. I think the message has been delivered. Let me leave it here for now. You have a lovely day. May God bless you and may God bless Zambia. Bye.